Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where we are currently... There we go. I was wondering if it was going to pop up on the recording. Perfect. We are currently pushing into South Africa here. We have no manpower. We also have no fuel. We should do something about that. So we're currently utilizing 8.5k per day, and I'm wondering why exactly. We downsized our number of planes here. We can downsize these, but that didn't seem to do anything in terms of our actual fuel usage. So there's that. Let's go ahead and run that, and let's see, 3.6 per day. Okay, that is a reduction. Mostly it's our army using it. Okay, fair enough. We are doing a fair bit of moving right now. So, I mean, realistically, that should, in theory, get finished up. Although I do think that we probably no longer care about the Atlantic Indian Ridge, at least. So we're going to send these guys on home. And that should reduce our fuel usage a little bit there as well. I do think that we still care about this here. Well, I don't actually know what South Africa has for a navy, right? Let's see what our intel says. Let's see. We want navy intel here. They have one ship, a single destroyer. Okay. In that case, I think we're going to send these guys home as well as these guys home. These guys here, they're going to continue doing what they're doing, but like that. And they're going to be on patrol over the Cape of Africa. Okay. There we go. We're going to hope that that's going to reduce our fuel usage enough. We are low on our fuel right now. We could trade for additional fuel. It wouldn't be that big of a deal. But I would prefer not to, because then we wouldn't be constructing as quickly. And we're very interested in getting these constructions done. So that'll be fine. Carrier Naval Bomber 3s have finished up. Not like we have anything to replace that with, of course. Okay, you know what? Let's do it. We'll use like 5 civilian factories here. There we go. Now we can see that our fuel use is just over where we need it to be. Or our fuel production, rather. Fuel gain is the term I'm looking for. So now we actually are getting fuel to our tanks at the front, which is great. We're going to need that. Excellent. I also am thinking about potentially boosting these guys back up to 1,000. There we go. Let's go ahead and do that. I feel like we lost quite a lot of power up here with our close air support when we drop that down, so let's bring that back up, and we'll keep an eye on our fuel here. It appears to be in the reasonable department. Okay. Our army fuel requirements are maybe a little lower than we'd like to see them be, or rather, our army fuel reception here, I guess I should say. But that's fine. These guys are currently, like, entrenched in mountains. And are they retreating? They are retreating. Never mind. Ignore me. Fantastic. So they're retreating. We have enough now that we would be able to annex one of our subjects. So we've got Slovakia over here, and I think that this is a good target to annex. Now we cannot send them convoys. So what do we want to send them? We've got a lot of infantry equipment. Most of that is foreign equipment. Okay, so we are currently sending them this. Next delivery expected at any time, so it seems like we don't actually have any way to lend-lease them. Which does strike me as somewhat odd. Because we have a land border right here. I guess we can't send it over land to Lend-Lease. That's odd, isn't it? That's quite odd. Well, let's see here. Would sending an attaché reduce their... Let's see. This is Slovakia here. Lend-leasing to subject. Subject lend-leasing to overlord. Autonomy effect from master building. Subject contributed war score. And yeah, attachés would do the trick. So let's go ahead and send an attaché to these guys. Let's also send one to Northern Hungary. That will use up basically all of our command power. In fact, that will be all of our command power. But the reason, of course, that we're doing that is because Northern Hungary has some resources we want, as does Slovakia, and getting this would almost, with the slight exception of these guys, would almost link us up over here. Okay. And then these guys are Carpathian Socialist Union. Yeah, okay. They're part of the Comintern. We could potentially attack them later on, but they don't actually have anything that we care about. There's also these guys over here, Romania. What are they doing over here? Okay, they're in the Axis faction. That's fine. The Australian People's Republic. Oh, I didn't even notice that. Isn't that interesting? We could definitely fight the Comintern at some point soon. Wait, they're still in the Allies? They are indeed still in the Allies faction. Ah, these guys are in the Allies faction too. Okay, never mind on that one. It's these guys that aren't in the Allies faction. And they're improving relations. Right. I was just mildly confused there for a moment. Fantastic. We do need to figure out some way to break up the Allies. There's no doubt about it. How are we doing in the Argentine Republic? Are we still boosting ideology here? Yes, we are. Okay. So their next election will be in about a year. I'm not sure how effective that will actually be in that amount of time, but we'll see. So we are pushing across this front, and that's wonderful. We are completely okay with this. Whoa, hang on a moment. We have manpower. Oh, it's because it's... We just got it on the month tick. Okay, and it's gone. Yeah, that's to be expected. Absolutely to be expected. Okay. So we're going to continue pushing forward over here, and just looking at this, yeah, that's about what we're expecting. This is all within the same resupply zone here. That's the term I'm looking for. Supply zone. Just supply zone. And we're going to want to start building up our infrastructure over here just as soon as we can, but that won't happen until we take this victory point, which is currently undefended. We're going to go see if we can grab it. They do have some people retreating there. So that's a little bit awkward, but we'll see. We might be able to. That will be absolutely wonderful if we can, and we're just going to continue pushing forward across this whole front. They are retreating from this location here, as well as this location. And we have managed to grab here. That's great. We are getting some retreats here, and they'll probably push us back briefly. But that's fine. So we're just going to continue to push in over here. That's all we can do. Let's also take a potential look at our political power. Just setting up those attachés did cost quite a lot of political power. Let's go ahead and do a region-wide industrial integration, and let's grab some civilian factories. It looks like over here. A civilian factory, to be precise. And we also want to repair the civilian factory in Panama. That's pretty important to us. So we'll go ahead and get that back online. I'm a little surprised we took a civilian factory in Panama damage. That is surprising. Oh well. So we are continuing to push along this line. They have gotten a fair number of reinforcements into Cape Town. This isn't shocking. We can get those cut off pretty easily here. And that is indeed exactly the plan. Now, they do have a supply base, a naval base, rather, but they're not really going to be able to do much because we do have complete control here. Excellent. That is, of course, fantastic. And we could think about bringing in additional forces over here, but I think that's a little premature given our supply situation. Once we push up to here and we're pushing into this region, then it'll be fine. This is just a single army here that is pushing, but that's fine. We don't need to get any other armies, although we're going to want to start agitating against Zaire and Angola, or rather Portuguese Angola, specifically Portugal. There's this region up here that we'll need to think about, and then there's this front. How's our supply situation looking up here? It should be fine. It's not amazing, actually. But it should be good enough. Should be more than good enough. Do we need to upgrade any naval bases over here? Actually, we do. Are those already queued up? I believe they should be. Yes, they are. Okay, well, we have a lot of infrastructure construction to work on, but that becomes kind of a higher priority than a lot of these naval bases. So this one would become like top here, as would this one. That would go there, and this one. Excellent. This one as well. And there should be one more here, and here it is. Excellent. So that should be all of those. Yes. And then we also have this front up here that would be doable. So let's actually look for that naval base as well. Did we queue that one? I'm not seeing it. Okay. We did not queue it. There we go. Now it is queued up, and we are going to do something like that. Also, yeah, there's a fair amount of infrastructure construction here. And that they're not ready yet. That would become fairly important to max out, but it looks like we're already doing that pretty early on in this construction. So that should be reasonably fine. Okay, sounds good. We are apparently taking attrition over here. It's not due to logistics, so it is what it is. We are continuing to push in over this way, and we're just taking what we can here for now. Now that's a little surprising that the state doesn't push out over here, but that's okay. We're going to continue to push here, and we should get Cape Town encircled fairly simply here. We are expecting to push in here, and then from there we just push to this victory point, which would give us control over this state, which would be huge, actually. That would be absolutely enormous. Now, our supply throughput here is going to be pretty bad. There's no doubt about it. But this looks to be pretty decent. Reinforcements should arrive over here shortly-ish, and anywhere that we attack, but we want to attack here. This attack would be ideal for us. So we're going to actually remove this offensive line, and we're going to set an offensive line of simply here for right now. And we'll go ahead and execute that. What's that actually doing? Okay, that's a little bit awkward, but sure. That'll be fine. We're winning this fight, so that gives us time to get reinforcements over here. And these guys, I mean, they have plenty of range. We don't need to move our airbase usage. That'll be fine. We did deny them this airbase, but they don't seem to have any airplanes anymore. This is perfect. This is exactly what we wanted here. This change isn't necessarily exactly what we wanted, but we did absolutely want to take Port Elizabeth here, and we're going to do so. These guys are going to be cut off, and there's very little that they can do. I mean, they have this victory point, and they have this naval base, right? So they're not fully cut off, but they are now encircled. Okay, so we've cut this roughly in half. We have 10 divisions assigned up here. That's fine. And we have 14 divisions assigned down here. We're just going to go ahead and offensive line like so. And we'll go ahead and execute that one. As far as the rest of these guys go, their goal is basically to offensive line all the way over like that. And we'll see how successful they are with most of our divisions back here. It'll be interesting. These guys are definitely getting wiped. You can see that. They are not getting the supply flow that they need. Which is completely expected. Yeah, that's completely and totally expected. Wonderful. We are up to 60 nukes that we have. We're not going to utilize any of them exactly yet. We are making gains over here, which actually somewhat surprises me. We should look at this logistics situation. Okay, 16 and 30 here. That's not the greatest I've ever seen. We definitely want to queue up infrastructure, except we can't. Okay. We certainly cannot just yet. We will be able to fairly soon. These guys are both in retreat, so this will be cleaned up momentarily. We can queue up a naval base over here. This remains a pretty low priority, though. Excellent. So all looks good right now. And we've pushed up over here. That's fantastic. And that's a stack wipe. These guys should be overrun, as should these guys, I think. They're retreating over this way. But these guys will get overrun as soon as we take this. Which will be in a little while. Not very long. Not very long at all. We are in spitting distance of their capital. Once their capital falls, I think they capitulate. And that would be fantastic. We would be very, very delighted for that to happen. Cape Town is going to fall extremely quickly. Yep, we are very, very close to Cape Town falling. These guys should, I think, get overrun. They made it here, I guess. Just in the nick of time. They are going to lose. That was definitely awkward timing, though. Awkward timing indeed. So yeah, they're going to be able to hold out there. That was very rough on the timing. Well, we're going to continue to push in over on this front, of course. Heavy Fighter 3's just finished up. And I don't believe there's anything else to research in here. Yeah, there definitely is not. So we don't have any more researches to do. Okay, there's our overrun in our stack wipe. Fantastic. We're going to construct infrastructure over here. That kind of becomes top priority right now. There we go. Fantastic. We'll also queue up maxing out that naval base, but that's low priority. And all of these units should now be on this attack. And indeed they are. So we're continuing to push back the South Africans. And we're going to go ahead and we should be in fully different supply zones at this point. Yes, we are. We're going to go ahead and move these guys over to man this border here. Wonderful. They should make their way over there. Eventually. Yeah, they're on their way. Fantastic. Russian operative was captured. Russian operative. Okay. That's exciting. But we are expecting South Africa to fall in just a moment here. We do have a free military factory, and let's toss those into support equipment. I feel like that's necessary. Fantastic. And we will have South Africa soon enough. That's wonderful. We're just then going to set these guys up on this front here. We're not going to be ready to attack Portugal for a while yet, obviously. We do need to think about this little spit of land here. Do we actually care about it? The answer is a definite maybe. So we need to think about that, for sure. These guys should be on their way over now. Yes, indeed they are. Fantastic. Will we need to garrison this location? The answer is not yet. We'll probably wait until after we're done with this, because we're planning to leave armies there for right now. This region, of course, will remain garrisoned by this force here, although that will require additional troops once we take all this over. There's no doubt about that. Hello, pause menu. Fantastic. So I think we're going to have 2 armies here and 1 army here, and we're just going to fight them on multiple fronts here. I don't think Portugal will be able to deal with that, in all honesty. That said, taking over South Africa has taken longer than expected, but that's fine. We're not in any real rush here. And this army is still making its way up to this front after cleaning up Cape Town, so that will be just fine. Let's go ahead and do another region-wide industrial integration, and where can we construct this is the question. The answer is somewhere, perhaps. Emphasis on the perhaps. Well, it might be a location that we had too many in previously. I'm definitely not seeing it right now. Nationalist South Africa just capitulated. So we're going to conquer them, and that should mean that we take all of this, right? We take Southwest Africa. We want to just take all states. There we go. Now that will generate some world tension, but that's fine. Excellent. There we go. Okay, let's go back to checking for that civilian factory. We can actually queue one up here. That becomes top prio. There we go. And where else can we queue one up? There might be a location somewhere up here. We didn't check these, per se. I don't believe that there is, though. Yeah, there really isn't. We do have some free military factories. We're going to apparently toss those into additional support equipment. There we go. Wonderful. And we're now going to chill and allow our world tension to drop a bit, while simultaneously getting in position to attack Portugal. So we're going to send, say, these guys to go frontline over here. And then we're going to send these guys, and I think it's these guys, to frontline here. So we're just going to army group this. I think we can do this with the army group. So this should be 16 divisions and 16 divisions. Yes, this is what I wanted. Fantastic. So they will start moving into position. We don't have a CB yet, but they will start moving into position there. And we probably want to have... Oh, this guy is currently captured by the Russian Federation. Did we prepare a rescue from him? In preparation. We don't have the support equipment. I'm guessing we're not going to succeed on that one. Okay. So if this guy boosts ideology here, how would that actually work? 0.0 per day. Okay, we're just going to bring him down over here, and we're going to root out resistance over here. There we go. Fantastic. So we are going to be getting some supplies over here, and that amount of supplies will be increasing as we improve our compliance and reduce the resistance. So that'll be fine. We will get access to 38 steel and 95 chromium from that. That's great. We are very pleased with that. And we're not expending additional manpower at this time. These guys are, of course, making their way on up, in theory. These guys don't appear to be moving. This should be Army 8. Yeah, they should be here. Okay. That's odd. So we're going to have these guys' offensive line, say, to here. Basically, the bit of Spain that Portugal took. And then the guys that are assigned to here, their mission is going to be to offensive line more along the lines of this. There we go. And then these guys, their mission is, of course, to take Portuguese Angola. Like so. And then these guys, their mission is going to be to take this over here. Does that include... Yes, it does include this up here. Fantastic. So that's the overall plan there. And then, of course, we'll push into Portugal with a united 3 armies at that point, in theory. So that's the overall idea. It is, however, time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to continue throwing away manpower into our recruitments. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.